Hey everyone, Liverpool taking on Spurs this weekend. Let's talk about it, gents. Chris, as discussed in the Final Word show post Maribor, all of our fears, our fears all exist. Our insecurities all exist within us, buried down deep inside. They have been eased significantly by Liverpool proving that they know how to score goals.
Scoring goals is fun to watch,
yes,
isn't it? Especially when it's Liverpool doing it.
Yeah.
Listen, it makes this game. I don't want to say I'm not going to be nervous about the game, because I think I will be because Tottenham are a great side and one that I think, on their day can beat anyone in this league. But going into this game on the back of that win, I feel much more full of confidence now. And it's such a huge game for Liverpool, because we're 4 points behind Tottenham. We beat them there and we go a point behind them, and we'll have played Tottenham, we'll have played Manchester City, we'll have played Manchester United, and we'll have played Arsenal. And then all of a sudden, you're a point off potentially third place, and you've played 4 of the top 6 sides. Yeah. And our start's looking pretty decent then.
Yeah, exactly.
It's obviously, you've got to beat Tottenham to get there.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, isn't it, Ross? It's a point made the other week. We're at that stage of the season where people, is where you need to keep your head, because you're only ever 2 or 3 wins away from being loads better off in the table than you are right now. I mean, look how congested it is. There's like 5 teams on 13 points at the moment. There's a lot of teams in and around there. Now, the thing is, that means that everyone wins, then you can't fly up, but we could take a significant leap up the table. And exactly what we're saying, the encouragement that the Maribor game's given us is that we're not deluded wankers for thinking that Liverpool have got the ability to be a good side this season. And so rather than looking at it and saying we're level on points with the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal and what have you, where Liverpool have only won 1 in 8 prior to the week, it does make you think a little bit more like Chris has said there, let's go and get a result against Spurs, and let's set a little bit of a marker for where we are this season, because let's be honest, if we don't, 7 points gap between Spurs starts to make you look at more at the fourth place in the league as your ultimate aim, whereas a win against Spurs, and it was what my dad said last week, no one's discounting Chelsea from having a great season, and we're level on points with them. I think it's I think Chris is the massive game, and it's a great impetus for this side to go on and prove their worth and their ability.
Yeah, I think it says something that we've been on such a what's considered a poor run, and yet we're not that far away from everyone else. And like you said, we've played 4 out of the 6 teams. But at the same time, I don't expect, is it Burnley and Watford, the other teams at a level with us? I don't expect them to maintain what they're doing. I know they've been great so far this season.
I'm saying nothing about Watford. I'm keeping stuff on Watford. All they do is disprove everything I know about football.
He's wrong.
Yeah.
And Burnley play City this weekend, is it?
Yeah, Burnley away at City, but like you said, Burnley have been great away from home, but
City have been good at home.
City just smashing everyone out of the park, aren't they? So I'd expect City to win that, which in turn helps us out. But I think we can take a lot of confidence. I don't think we're not going to beat Tottenham 7-0.
That's loser talk, that. What? You want Burnley winning that because you want Man City dropping points, because we want to start reeling Man City. And Ross, come on, get your mentality right.
You're deluded. But yeah, from last night, obviously we're not going to beat Tottenham 7-0, but I just think the confidence, like we discussed before, of what we can take from it, Klopp can take from it, and every player that played last night, bar Jordan Henderson, who I feel really sorry for. Yeah. Has a day off and they win 7-0. It's like,
stay off then.
Yeah, but you'd imagine...
It's like when you don't watch a match in the brilliance, and you're like, oh my God, what if is it me? Yeah. Except, you're a player on the pitch and it might be you. With the greatest respect to Jordan Henderson, which we'll talk about in a moment. Again, there's some real notes for encouragement here, Chris. And look, you mentioned it, Spurs are really good. They are really, really good. And they're going to be there or thereabouts, no matter what. The top end of the table, they should be putting together a title challenge. I think this season, I think they're very much overdue.
Yeah, man, they've been like that every single year, haven't they?
Progressing nicely. What I hope plays into our hands a little bit, obviously both in European action in the week, is that I know they rotated and they were able to rest a couple of key players and what have you, but that's a big game they've just played there in the Bernabeu. They've gone and put a Herculean shift in there. they've gone out, they've got a result, and it's not just that, it's not just the physical exertion, but the mental exertion of that as well. Two things of having to be totally and utterly switched on for 90 minutes plus stoppage time, but also that coming away with something, feeling like we've got a real achievement out of there. I'd like to think that it stands Liverpool in maybe a slightly better mindset for this game.
I was talking about this last night, and it's clearly going to give Tottenham a boost. I think that, you know, if we'd have got a draw away at Real Madrid, I think I'd have thought the Liverpool players would get a boost out of that. But when you delve into a little bit deeper and stuff, and I know they could have won the game and all that, like, but you know, 66% possession to 33. Generally speaking, when you see a game of football like that, the one with the 33 are running their arses off. Yeah. And it could just be a really, although it'll give them confidence, an energy-sapping game where it might get to the weekend and they just feel that in the legs a little bit more. Because let's be honest, Liverpool coasted through that second half and for most of the first half as well.
And so as Klopp said, the Man United game, even referred wasn't a particularly intense game for us the weekend before. Either.
So I expect a couple of changes for Liverpool's side. I expect Tottenham to be good. I'm not all in on them being absolutely crap all season at Wembley. Yeah. I think they will get that form right at home.
Yeah.
Just hopefully not from this week. Hopefully not this week.
I don't think the Wembley thing is an interesting one though. That I think it's telling Ross that you're right. It's not been. I don't think it's quite been the millstone that everyone kind of predicted it to be. But also, I think it's worth pointing out that the points that they have dropped at home. You know, they lost to Chelsea, they've drawn with Swansea, they drew with Burnley as well. Note of caution that they beat Borussia Dortmund quite comfortably, of course, at that ground. But that is something that Liverpool should take heart from. That at this early stage of the season, they are still not totally integrated. They're not totally settled in there. It's a big open. It's a great stage for us to go and perform on as much as anything else.
It might be the only chance that we get to go and play there this season as well. So anyway,
what have you been drinking this?
We've just been doing the final word. You're happy as laddie. What did you do?
Ross, note of caution, Chandley. Get out.
All right, so yeah. But it might be. I don't want to think like that. But it's just being realistic. It might be.
Stop thinking like that then.
Yeah, it'll be the first time out of 3 this season we'll play there. So let's win all 3 of them.
Well, no, if it's the FA Cup, it'll be semi-finals as well, won't it?
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, because the FA are pricks. But another story for another day.
Back to the Harry Kane stuff. He played a full 90 minutes. Like you said, he might be shattered. And we rested Mo Salah and Bobby Firmino early on, and the rest of the team had the second half off, like you said. So hopefully that'll play into our hands.
And one little fact for you: Liverpool have never lost to Spurs at Wembley.
Oh,
yeah. Granted, it was a completely different Wembley Stadium. But no, we played them. I checked into. I was looking.
Why did you have to tell me that? That makes me feel worse, man.
No.
Because these records exist to be broken. I hate that.
It's not really a record. I mean, I could have looked. I was going to look into our away form against them, and the drop-down box analysis history was neutral venues, and it was like, oh, okay, have a look at it. And yeah, we played. It was like in '82. We played them twice, and we beat them twice. But yeah, I just thought it was quite another little note. If you're looking for more notes of encouragement, there you go. Have that.
We need to bring the question back in this.
No, it's dead.
Do you think Dave can send us them in?
If Dave Gill wants to continue to send us some long-winded trivia questions in, by all means. But I think Dave's got a life these days, hasn't he? So yeah, not that you didn't have a life at the time, Dave. You know. Only best. Yeah, so we'll go on to the team selection. I think as referenced, there's going to be some. I think there's one player that's going to be up for discussion, based solely on, well, not solely on his performance against Maribor, but based almost entirely on his performance. That's James Milner. Lads, let's get your predicted 11s.
Show of hands if you put Milner in. No, not predicted. It's preferred.
Preferred 11s.
Every week. Is it preferred or predicted?
It's preferred.
Fuck God.
And show of hands for Milner.
Well, let's just...
Come on.
Yes. Love that. Okay, so you've got a...
He's in me preferred 11 this week.
Yeah, anyway. So, we've... Okay, so pretty much... we've all brought... Here's the big thing. A lot of people saying in the comments post-match of Maribor that Milner should stay in or Henderson should miss out. I disagree, and as evidenced by my preferred 11, Is there a case though for this? Because Emre Can, you know, you gave him a 9 on your player ratings. You thought he had an excellent game at anchoring the midfield. That is his best position. It's not outside the realms of possibility that he's done enough to win that win that place.
You know what? I think Chan's. I mentioned it on the Final Word show on the website, didn't I? That I thought that Chan has made this a lot closer for me than I thought it was going to be. I actually ummed and ahed over one position, and it was Wijnaldum there. And it wasn't Wijnaldum or Chan. It was, do I put Henderson there? Do I want to see Henderson there and Chan in the 6?
Wow.
And the reason that it was something that Matt Ladston, the guy who runs This Is Anfield, said to us in pre-season, that he doesn't think Henderson's running the same as he was a few years ago. When he looked back at some, you know, nothing to do with the Ferguson comments or anything like that, but he thinks he's not running as freely, and he thinks that's part of the reason that Henderson is now being used as a 6 and stuff. So that was the only thing I was umming and ahhing over. I think if Henderson was 2 years ago, and Matt maybe hadn't told me that, I kind of would have liked to see Henderson in that position, and Chan maybe there, because I think you get the best out of Chan, and you maybe could get even more out of Jordan Henderson.
I think for me, I would like to think anyway that I've gone with Wijnaldum and Milner as my attacking mids, or rather Wijnaldum as the box to box and Milner more as the attacking mid. Look, Milner needs to put the performance in against Maribor against a good team. Well, look, we're playing a good team right now. What better chance to show it while he's in good form? Does he have it in his legs? Yes, he played pretty much every game last season at fullback, are far more physically demanding.
He was the second highest minutes played last season after Kleiny.
Exactly. And so I don't think we need to play Emre Can in one of those midfield roles, advanced midfield roles anymore, unless we're really looking to be a bit more grindy, which I suppose is a possibility.
If you were playing Manchester United again, but before you know how they're going to play, maybe you'd go with that midfield. If you want to
physically dominate the midfield, I think it makes sense. But I think in terms of, I just think the balance, I thought the balance was great with Chan in the 6, Wijnaldum box to box and him attacking mid, and I think we'd have a little bit more fluidity and a little bit more pace about us with Jordan Henderson instead of Chan in that, which is why I've gone for that. But yeah, it's what an interesting position, Ross, because like I say, Milner has just totally and utterly not just thrown his hat into the ring, but he's thrown his hat into the ring and done like a mad dance about it and then gone. And then looked at Emre Can and Henderson, they've gone. And it's basically like that Run DMC video with the Jason Nevins or whatever it is. You've got, it's now a battle, you know, show and improve. Go and beat that performance. He's thrown it right over to the other lads.
Yeah, it just gave us a bit of a conundrum this morning, but I still don't think Klopp will start him on Sunday. I think he'll just go back to what has been.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. I totally agree with you.
I don't think that's fair, because like you said, the performance that he put in, and he's not played that many games this season, so surely that means, you know, prior to this, is he planned on dropping Chan or Gini Wijnaldum before, or maybe even Henderson again?
And bear in mind, we've got a week until the Huddersfield game off the back of this as well, haven't we? You know, there's no obviously the League Cup getting knocked out. All of a sudden, I'm annoyed we're not winning silverware, but right now I'm thinking, great, you know, it means that because there's no reason for me why a guy can't play two games in a week.
For Milner,
especially,
let's be honest, Henderson had 2 games, I think, in the international break, and then Manchester United, and then last night off, didn't he? Milner didn't go away with England. You know, he'll have been there working on that midfield drills and stuff like that. So, you know, that was a performance that I think was rooted in the international break from James Milner and the time on the training field. And he can 100% play 2 games a week. He did it last year, loads.
Yeah, and as we said, he did a very Lallana-like performance. Whether that's Lallana-light, as it were, but I think, you know, we've been crying out for Adam Lallana in this team. He is the core of what we do. I don't think it's people talk about the gegenpress dropping off, whatever. I don't think it's, you know, I think it goes hand in hand with the absence of Lallana. And I just think having someone who does that, who does if not an exact replication of that, but as a rough analogue of that performance, I'd rather see that. I'd rather see Milner in that team than Emre Can or Wijnaldum, because I think they've been given that opportunity, and neither of them has taken it with anything like the gusto that Milner did this week.
No, Milner did it in 1 game as well. Like saying, not like 4 or 5 games where Chan's had the opportunity to do it and he hasn't done it. but it just shows how much we have missed Adam Lallana. I think that Lallana and Firmino are the best at leading that line of the press, and then everyone else just follows them in. And obviously Chandler isn't the quickest unless he's gone running from deep and he's got a burst on him. Whereas Milner, he's got years on him, does a better job than him.
Yeah.
I obviously because I picked him, prefer him to start.
Yeah,
on that because I just think he deserves it.
Yeah, the only other one I had different to you guys was I put Robertson at left back, not because I think Klopp will do it, but
you want to see him.
Yeah, I want to see him get a game now. You know, I think Moreno's doing really, really well, and you know, to be fair, I made the comment prior to the Maribor game of like why I'd have kept Gomez in the team just to try and keep as much stability in that defence as possible because you know you're already changing the goalkeeper.
So you're retracting that and changing to
completely because not because again I think it's a realistic thing or I think it's something that would necessarily aid the team, but it's been a bit too long since Robertson's had a game of footy, and I think he's good enough. And again, I wonder whether this is one of those games where just that little bit of added quality in the delivery into the box, particularly we talked on the final word about if Firmino's going to play a bit more nine-ish than false nine-ish. Having someone whipping balls in could be a good thing.
Yeah, I think every Liverpool fan wants to see Andy Robertson. Personally, I'd probably do Huddersfield rather than Tottenham, especially with that week to work on it and stuff. But I can definitely understand the reasons for wanting to see Robertson into the side. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It's also got that thing that you mentioned in the final word of that link-up play between Moreno and Coutinho, and it's obviously worked really well last night. So
yeah,
why would you change that?
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, I think this is more a heart than head kind of decision for me, but yeah, you know, a long season. I'm glad that it's been mentioned and it's been talked about as we kind of talked about again on the final word. You're starting to see the benefits of these guys being kept under wraps, being trained a little bit more hardcore by the management to get them right for what we need them, and hopefully we start to see that. And you know, look, if Robertson bursts onto the scene, and if he comes into the team, you know, it's because he's better than Moreno. If he can come in and play better than Moreno, who's been really good this season, God, how much better?
Who was it? Was it Tom that shouted Moreno's probably our most consistent player? Was it your dad? Was it?
Final word after United. Yeah, I find it hard to disagree with that. We, like I mentioned, obviously we've got a Lucas Leiva interview exclusive on the redmentv.com website. The first part's been out for a week or so now, so if you've seen that and you've enjoyed that, the second part and the third part are on the way as well. Really, really good stuff, really insightful. Talking about some really I say hard-hitting question, but Lucas talks about his youth and moving away and going through the trials and tribulations of not being loved by Liverpool fans, but also we asked him about, as you will have seen the clip that we've been promoting, talking about the win at Old Trafford. Chris was asking about the mentality of the tactical approach of Brendan Rodgers in the infamous Chelsea game in the 13-14 season. He gave some great answers on that.
Always wanted to ask that question to somebody. So basically the question that I asked Lucas was, I always felt like it was an egotistical thing that Rodgers went to beat Jose Mourinho's Chelsea, and he didn't want to just settle for a point and get that point in the bag. And I felt like because he used to work for Jose Mourinho, I wondered whether it was maybe Rodgers' ego that led us into that. And the answer that Lucas Leiva gave was absolutely superb. Like, and it must be such a hard, pertinent question to answer because, you know, he's an emotional subject for him, but he dealt with it perfectly. Yeah. And it really did make me go, okay, that's a really good answer. I respect that. Put it to bed to some extent. But yeah, some great stuff on there. Chris obviously talked about him as well, about like the evolution of the role and the DM and stuff, which is, if you're into that kind of stuff, the tactical stuff. And did an amazing piece, which still to be confirmed exactly how we're doing this, but the zonal marking stuff and why Liverpool defend and how the zonal marking works for Liverpool with Lucas Leiva, really, really good. So keep an eye out for that. But, you know, go on to the redmentv.com, sign up, get the first part. Definitely get involved with it. Let us know your thoughts on it. If you've watched it, enjoyed it, let us know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Tell people how much you've enjoyed it. Spread the love, spread the word. Brill. I feel like you needed to end on peace then.
Score predictions, please, Ross.
2-1 to us before you.
I'm going to get carried away. I'm going to go 3-0 Liverpool.
Jesus Christ, go ahead.
I nearly said a draw. Fucking hell.
I like this. I like the 2-1 show. I think they're really good, aren't they? And you know, I was about to say White Hart Lane, which is an irrelevance these days, but
it's a building site.
They could do it. Spurs could do with taking a dick, couldn't they? Maybe we'll be the ones to deliver it. I don't know. it'd be great just to get, for me, I just don't care. This is one of those games. No, but we've desperately needed to score a load of goals. We needed to get that out of our system to prove it. Now we need to go and just let's keep the winning momentum going. Let's get into the swing of winning games. Liverpool just need to string a win of 2 or 3 wins together now, and just to see where we stand on stuff. Let's carry it on. Let the good times roll at Wembley Stadium, because God knows we need to do something good at Wembley as well. But yeah, let us know your thoughts and score predictions and preferred 11s in the comments below. Of course, as I say, go and subscribe to the redmentv.com. You can click the icon on the screen. It helps make everything that we do possible. So if you want to become a supporter of the Redmen TV, you can. Always appreciate it. We love our supporters. There's loads of extra bonuses and features for you there. Otherwise, check back for Chris's starting 11 prediction, which will be live or in the past, depending on when this goes out. Either way, it's going to be spectacular.
Thursday.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you very, very much for subscribing, and we'll see you soon. Ta-ra.